Hey guys, Dean Linnell here with the Linnell Group at the Whistler Real Estate Company, and I want to jump straight into this video and give you what's available in Whistler here as of the end of May 2025 for hotel condo properties. Now, I've had some recent requests for me to do a video on this, and it's a really great time to take a look at what's on the market because there are 41 units on the market right now, which isn't a crazy amount. There's always typically something like that on the market here in Whistler. But if you're looking for something that's under about $1 million and you want to be in a luxury sort of hotel or that type of a property that's in Whistler, that's ski in, ski out, or in the village, Whistler Village, this is the video for you. So I wanted to just go through all of this right now, and I've got it sorted as far as complex goes. So you've got Alpenglow, you've got Blackcomb Lodge, you've got Cascade Lodge, Delta Whistler Village Suites, Four Seasons over at Blackcomb, Pan Pacific Mountainside, which is where the Dublin Gate pub is. You've also got Pan Pacific Whistler Village Suites. You've got the Westin, Pinnacle International, and Whistler Peak Lodge, which used to be the Holiday Inn. So those are all the options. Now, if we go through by price, I'm just going to sort this by price. Now, this is the back end of our Whistler listing system. Okay, so this isn't sort of a view that you would see on any of the portals online. But you can see here right now, I actually have currently the lowest price condo in Whistler listed at $229,000, and that's at the Whistler Peak Lodge. And then it goes up from there. You can see there's a bunch of different options there, under 500. So here we go up into 500, and then we keep moving along, and we go up to, if you're in the Four Seasons or the Pan Pacific, things get pricier. You can see Four Seasons. There's also Four Seasons Private Residence, which is not a Phase 2 property, but that's one of the options there for $5.2 million. You've got these 3 different suites that are all conjoined over at the Four Seasons Hotel. Now, let's just talk about what a Phase 2 property is. Okay, so this is just a real quick overview. If you're looking to buy something that's in a condo hotel building like the Westin, like any of these ones on this list, you as the owner can only use it 28 days in the winter and 28 days in the summer. So you get 56 days a year. The rest of the time, the hotel manages it for you, and you get a share of the revenue. Okay, so the way it works is you don't have to use all 56 days. I know a lot of people don't even ever come up. They just have it as an investment. Maybe you're from Vancouver and you never want to come up here. But if you don't use your days, you just put them in the rental program with the hotel, and they'll take care of renting it out for you. So that's how the Phase 2 properties work. I've got a video up in the corner here that just shows you a bit more detail on how that program works, but you do get rental income from it. Okay, now here's some of the different options. Now let's go through and resort, and we're going to start with the Alpenglow. Okay, Alpenglow is this particular one here is one that I've got on the market, and it's unit number 210. So it's a little studio, 375 square feet, right? And I'm going to change the display here so you can see a little bit better. So when you're looking at these ones, you're going to have, so this is where Mount Curry Coffee is, right? So you've got Mount Curry Coffee, you've got Splits Grill, Peaked Pies in Whistler, and then you've got the Circle. So this is all on Main Street, so right in the heart of Whistler Village. And then you're going to have sleeping for 4 on this one. So you've got a Murphy bed that comes out of the wall, and then you've also got this the bed right here. And then this particular unit, I believe, faces out over the pool on this one. Now, the neat thing about the Alpenglow is that you can actually do your own rentals. So you don't have to stick with the rental management that's in place for the building. You are allowed to do your own nightly rentals through Airbnb or through another company if you want. You don't have to use the front desk. So these tend to be a little more valuable because of that. So now we're going to go back and I'll just move out of the Alpenglow, show you just a couple other things. So Jimmy Simpson with our company, the Whistler Real Estate Company here, has got a Blackcomb Lodge unit on the market. Okay, so Blackcomb Lodge is right here. Blackcomb Lodge is the building that's just above where Araxi restaurant is, and Provision baked goods and coffee shop is around the corner there, and Bar Oso is around the corner too. So Blackcomb Lodge, so that's a neat option as well. These photos are not fabulous, but you get the idea. So that's another option. If you go to we move along here to Cascade Lodge. Now this is another kind of an interesting one, because with Cascade Lodge, it's another one where you can do your own nightly rentals on it if you want to manage it yourself. So that makes them a little bit more valuable. So that's what we've got on this. Now, Cascade Lodge, if you're coming into Whistler on the main Village Gate Boulevard, it would be your immediate left, your first left turn. And that's where the Cascade Lodge is, on that corner with a big pool. Yeah, so we can move back over here. Now we start moving into the Delta Whistler Village Suites. Okay, so I've got a couple of units for sale in there. You've got them for around $505. We're stepping up to a 1-bedroom now, as opposed to a studio. Okay, now this one has a higher share of revenue than most in there. It's a bigger, what we call an interest upon destruction number, IUD number, and that's how you get. That's how the hotel knows how much revenue to share with you, is if you've got a larger unit or it's on a top floor with a better view, it's going to have a higher interest upon destruction number, and they use that number to share out the revenue. So better unit is going to be more revenue than, let's say, a little studio on the ground floor that faces, the forest. Okay, so that's this one. So this is a really good option as well. And the Delta Suites is actually where I'm filming this video right now. My office is here, and so the hotel is just upstairs from us. So we are on Main Street at the Delta Whistler Village Suites. So now we shuffle over to some other options. So we go over to the Four Seasons here. So if you're in the Four Seasons, you can get a studio for $639,000. Now the interesting part about these is that there are no kitchens. Okay, so and you also see that the price is quite a bit higher because it's the Four Seasons. So you're not getting a studio for $250,000. Studio at the Four Seasons costs $639,000, and that's basically the going rate for these. You'll probably get a little bit of a discount, negotiate the seller down a bit, but basically we're into that type of pricing. Okay, so what I was mentioning about no kitchens is that it's sort of a true hotel, right? So you've got this mini bar over here with a coffee, with an espresso machine, and there's a fridge there, but you're not going to cook in the unit. They're expecting you to go downstairs and buy $75 steaks at Side Cut. So wonderful hotel there, the Four Seasons. Now let's move back here to take a look at some other options, right? So at the Four Seasons, this is another one. This is the $5,295,000 one, and this is 3 suites all joined together. So it's a big one, and it's called the Presidential Suite. So you can just click through and take a look at those photos. Really nice view overlooking the pool down below you on this one, corner unit, right? Okay. Now, let's slide back to some other options here. You can also be in the Pan Pacific Mountainside. So you can see here, you're going to be around $479,000 for a studio. You're going to be 1-bedroom for about $750,000. Okay, and this is the this is the Pan Pacific Mountainside here, and that's the one that's ski in, ski out, right at the base of Fitzsimmons Chair. And then you've got the Dublin Gate restaurant and pub downstairs there. So, good units here. These are always very, very popular. I've recently updated the units as well. Really cool building. Okay, so from there, we'll move over to the Pan Pacific Whistler Village Center. And so with that, you're into a 1-bedroom for less money than at the Mountainside, right? The Mountainside ones are $750,000. Pan Pacific Whistler Village Center is over by Aritzia, I guess, is where it is. And so you're not ski in, ski out, but it's very, very close. So you're going to be a 1-bedroom for $429. So it's less money, right? So this is the building here. You can see, you remember this one. It's right next door to Whistler Peak Lodge. And so it's a good option as you just pull into town there and you hang a right. You've got that building. Now, let's move to our next options here. Now, if we did something like a Pinnacle International, these don't come on the market very often, but these are right across from my office here. On the other side of the window here is the Pinnacle International, and you've got Alta Bistro is right there, and you also have Alpha Cafe, which is in there, and also Quattro Restaurant. So this is another option for sort of a lower cost option. These are starting to show their age, really, I think. I think they could be updated at some point, but they really haven't been renovated since they were constructed in, when were they built? 1996. Okay. So yeah, that was about $339 for a studio unit. Now we move over to the Westin, and of course everyone knows where the Westin is. If you don't, it's right at the base of the Blackcomb Gondola. Okay, sorry, the Whistler and Blackcomb gondolas. So right here, you've got, for a studio, you're going to be paying in the low $4s, and then if we move up to 1-bedroom, you go beyond. But wonderful, wonderful big hotel right at the base of the mountain. So you're ski in, ski out. You wouldn't have to barely ever use your car. And there's lots of different options there in terms of if you move up to like a 1-bed. So there's a bunch of studios on the market right now. Looks like there's 7 studios, and then you jump up to around into the mid to high 6s and 7s for 1-bedroom. Let's see what they've got any unit shots. Yeah, there you go. So you've got a pretty full functional kitchen there. I think you could probably cook a Thanksgiving turkey in that. And so there's lots of room to spread out in these ones. Facing the forest on this particular one. But yeah, you're into this for mid 6s, and the price has dropped on this one. So there's lots of availability in there. Then of course you move over to Whistler Peak Lodge. It's right next door to the Pan Pacific Whistler Village Center, and it used to be called the Holiday Inn. And downstairs from there, you've got some coffee shops, and Aritzia's right here, a Mongoli Grill. But this is going to be sort of your bargain basement entry point into Whistler. So for about $220,000, you can buy a studio in here that's sort of mid, sort of 350, 375 square feet. And there's no pool. There's an indoor hot tub. This is a pretty cool unit, actually. It faces out over the village stroll. And there's been some updates to these over the years, but you can see you do get a pretty big kitchenette there. And you've got a bed and bathroom. So this one's going to sleep 2, right? Okay, so that is our options in terms of Phase 2 hotel properties in Whistler. And you'll find, like I said, most of them are going to be under $1 million. There's lots of great options in the $250,000 to kind of $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 range. But remember, these are Phase 2 restricted properties, which means you can only use them 56 days a year personally. But they do bring pretty good revenue. And if you want more information on that, you can certainly shoot me a call. My contact details are in the description below. I've been a realtor up here in Whistler for 27 years now, so you definitely got the right guy. We'll see you in the next video.